Have you ever sat down to try to write a song hoping it would be a hit, but then you listen back the next day and feel like, dang, this just feels too basic? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience writing over 1,000 songs, having multiple #1s and Grammy Awards, how to write a hit song without sounding basic or boring. It's really hard, believe me, but I'm going to give you 7 tools to help solve your songwriting problems. Number 1, it's about not being too lyrically on the nose. There's a way to say things simply, and there is a way to say things too obviously. There is a difference. You want to be saying what you want to say without saying it. Sometimes just saying, "I love you," is the right thing to say. But most of the time, you want to dig a little deeper and find a way to say it in a little bit different way with more color. There are a lot of ways to say, "I love you," without saying, "I love you." Like, "I'm yours," or "we were meant to be," or "you complete me." Now, none of these are groundbreaking terms in and of themselves, but it's an exercise to show you that sometimes just thinking like a thesaurus is the way to write yourself out of a cliche. And cliches are cliches for a reason. It's because they've been overused or you've heard it said the same way too many times in other songs before. So that's number 1. Number 2, start with a killer melody and find a lyric that fits the melody. This is how pros like Max Martin write. It's all about the sound and feel of the melody, and then finding the right lyrics to fit with those vowel sounds and rhythms that come most naturally to you. Now, this is kind of how I write. I often will just sing sort of nonsense words just to try to find the right melody, like this. Didn't know the same one, you know I know I'll be. Don't always say for long and do you differently. Take it away, I'ma go, I'm away. I know today and something about you, and no, I know later who I realize love and all the lose and other things and no. And then I'll fill the lyric in after the fact. Melody is universal. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It's the melody that carries the feeling and emotion of a song. So if you nail a fresh, simple, compelling melody, then you're 70% of the way there. I always think starting with an amazing melody rather than starting with a lyric and trying to make a melody fit the lyric ends up sounding clunky. That's just my own personal experience. All right, number 3, try writing what I call an emo turn-up. An emo turn-up basically means it's a sad lyric over top of a track that has energy. A great example of this is the song "Sorry" by Justin Bieber. Using balance is a huge thing in making songs not sound too basic or cheesy. And when I say balance, I mean if the lyric is uber sad, maybe don't make the track too obviously sad. This song is a sad, sad song. I don't know what went wrong. So the Bieber one, it sounds hopeful, the melody sounds hopeful while having a sad lyric. Is it too late now to say sorry? Like he could have wrote that with a really sad sounding melody and it would be too much. Is it too late now to say sorry? Is it too late now to say sorry? Like that just sounds depressing, but is it too late now to say sorry? Like that just sounds more hopeful while having a sad lyric at the same time. And then tip number 4 is that killer music can go a long way in creating balance. This is where the track and the production come in, and it's about using contrast and unexpected elements that keep the listener on the edge of their seat, and it keeps them from getting too bored. Earlier, I referenced Max Martin, and to come back to him, he mentions that production and writing are intertwined. It really is one thing. That's how most of today's hits are crafted. The production is integral to the songwriting process. So it can pay big dividends for you to learn a DAW and to learn essential production skills. If you have a very simple melody, oftentimes An interesting piece of music can balance it out well and make the song feel amazing. I mean, look at the chorus of Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. It's such a simple one-note melody, but the track moving on those interesting beats and those hits and those chord moves gives it so much more emotion and swagger. Another key piece of achieving balance is contrast. If you have a busy verse, try making the pre-chorus less busy. Like if you have a verse that's like rapid fire like this, try making the pre-chorus more spaced out. Oh, you know, I fall in love. And it's oftentimes just those little rhythmic changes that create just enough contrast from section to section. All right, number 5, simplicity does not equate with a song sounding basic. Simple songs that are also fresh are what we all try to write every day. They are the hardest ones to write. Many times, you've probably heard it said that the chef's best ingredients are the one that they leave out. It's about the restraint of knowing when not to keep adding. This is where you have to do the really hard work of refining. It's taking out every syllable that doesn't need to be there, taking out every musical element that isn't essential, and making sure every melody is easy to sing. The best thing is when you have an amazing singer that sings a simple melody and doesn't feel like they need to show off every single note they're singing. I think a really good example of this is the singer Jessie J. I personally love her voice. She has an amazing voice, but I also think that she overwrites melodies to show off what she can do with her voice and the amazing vocal acrobatics that only she can do. It's impressive, but it doesn't usually equate to timeless hit songs that you can listen to over and over and over and over again. If you have a great voice, it's going to show through, and you don't have to overcompensate with vocal acrobatics and complex melodies and showing off. A great melody sung well is enough. And the answer is often in shifting the rhythms of your melody rather than just the notes. What makes a hook catchy most of the time isn't the notes themselves, it's the combination of the notes and the rhythm and phrasing that you use. Mary Had a Little Lamb, that's an example of a basic rhythm. It works awesome for little kids songs and nursery rhymes, but it's not going to be the basis for the next pop hit. Well, maybe. I say that and it might be. Who knows? Maybe the next pop hit will be one where a genius writer figures out how to make Mary Had a Little Lamb melody work in a brilliant, fresh way. So when we're talking about rhythm, you want to be thinking like a drummer. Think rhythmically when you're coming up with melodies. I think Ryan Tedder does a great job of writing this way. Listen to a lot of his writing, and it has a very urban, rhythmic influence. One example of a song that I got to be a part of that I think has super catchy vocal rhythms is the song Feel Invincible by Skillet, which has gone platinum. It's got literally over 1 billion streams, and it goes like this.
Shot like a rocket up into the sky, nothing can stop me tonight. You make me feel invincible, earthquake powerful.
So that's what I'm talking about when I say catchy rhythms. All right, number 7 is to write from the heart. People know if a song is contrived. They know if you just sat down and came up with something that you thought people would like rather than what is the song that comes straight out of your heart. Write exactly what you need to say. Authentic, genuine emotion is always going to be compelling. It's never going to go out of style. That's what we're all looking for in new music. There are no new notes. There are no new ideas. There are really not even any new human experiences. It's how you spin them in a new way through a heartfelt song that will make your song fresh and timeless at the same time. Now, when in doubt, write from your own story. Some great examples of songs that have done this really well are Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You, which came from her personal story and experience leaving Porter Wagoner, who helped give her her start. That song has so much emotion and passion, you can hear it because it's real. Or take Because of You by Kelly Clarkson, which is a song she wrote to reflect the pain caused by her parents' divorce. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't always have to be sad songs, but make sure it's real and authentic. It is truly something like magic when a new song comes on and it encapsulates exactly the feeling that we need to hear in the moment in a way we've never heard it before, but we want to keep hearing it again and again. We've talked in this video about some ways to achieve this as a songwriter. And it really is ultimately up to you as a writer what you do with all of these tools. And really, they are tools, they're not rules. They're tools for problem solving in your songwriting process. If you have a song that you want to share, that you've written, that you feel might be hit-worthy, feel free to comment below, and our team would love to listen. And as always, if you like this video, hit that like and subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any of the other videos that we're putting out.